Hello everyone! How are you this week? It's the last Saturday of the month, and oh, I suppose tomorrow is Easter. You know, Easter is my second favorite holiday, but we never do anything for it. Do you guys do anything for Easter anymore? I mean, we used to, I guess, but I don't know. I think the main reason I like Easter is for the colors and the cute little decals. Just like for the same reason I like Valentine's Day. I only like Valentine's Day. Well, I like Valentine's Day for the colors and the shapes, like the heart shapes. I love heart shapes. And I love red. So, I like Valentine's Day for the colors and the shapes, and then I like it for also to show my platonic love for all my friends. But anyway, today, what you are watching is I'm redrawing an old character drawing that I did, I think a couple of years ago. Oh gosh, it's so hard to say that. Like, I drew that a few years ago. I believe I've improved a great deal since then. I know those were like my first steps into sort of painterly style. I didn't do that for this drawing. I sort of did like a lined thing. But yeah, I'm super happy with how this came out, by the way. And I don't know if you might have guessed, but so she's a character from a D&D, a game that I play. Yeah, I know, I play D&D too much, I know. But she's for a campaign that was only supposed to go for like maybe 2 or 3 sessions. And one of the sessions has already gone out and been played. And it was a lot of fun. I pictured her, and I imagined her differently than what ended up happening. She ended up being very gullible and listened to basically anything that people said. There was one especially funny part where there's the bad guys, quote unquote, and there's the other guys that she's kind of gonna be on a team with, I guess. And so the bad guys tell her to do something, and she's like, okay. And then the quote-unquote good guys are like, nope, you're staying right here. And so she's like, okay. And then the bad guys tell her to go again, and then she's like, okay. And that was so funny. That was so much funny to play. She ended up being a lot of fun, even though I pictured her being kind of mysterious, quiet, and serious. I knew she was going to be strange, but I didn't think she'd be so, I don't know, I guess I didn't think she would be so polite or friendly, because she ended up being kind of friendly, and I didn't mean for that to happen. She was supposed to be kind of weird. I actually would probably relate her most to Arashi from Magical Girl School, where, like, without the bullying aspect, but more of just, like, the general attitude of her, just kind of being quiet and weird. But yeah, so that was her original idea, but then she ended up, I mean, she was still weird, but she ended up being a lot different than I expected, which, I mean, was still fun. Like, I love her in both the original idea and what ended up happening in the game. I kind of feel like they're sort of two different people, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But anyway, so yeah, I had a lot of fun. I did this because I was like, okay, I want to play this character I drew a few years ago and play her in this campaign that is only going to be a very short one. And then I did this giant picture. I don't know why I made it so big. I don't know if it's been enlarged yet, but I do stretch it and go in with the line art eventually here. But yeah, a lot of fun. Oh, her name is Johanna Agaro, and she's a paladin. She's very faithful to her church thing, and that's sort of why she was so gullible, because she hadn't been really outside of her church place, and she, like, this campaign was the first time she ever left her home, and her home originally is like this big, you know, church place where she grew up to protect, basically, and that's why she's a paladin. But anyway, let's stop talking about that. So guys, I watched Coco. I don't know how many of you guys have watched Coco, but if you haven't, you gotta. It's so good. I won't give away any spoilers, first of all. You know me, I want you guys to go watch the things or experience the things first. But I will vaguely talk about it. Basically, it's like, yo, I did not see that twist coming at all. I did not see it coming. And I already loved the character that twist involved, but I didn't expect the character to be that important important, if that makes sense. I mean, I loved the character, but I didn't expect that character to be like, oh dang, well then. You know what I mean, if you've seen Coco. But yeah, I love that. And, you know, through the majority of the movie, people were telling me it's like, oh, I cried at Coco. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I have felt the sads, but I have not cried yet. And I was like, is it just me? Or, like, is it, you know, just like, it's like, okay, I like the movie and it's been sad, but I didn't cry. But then it got to the point near the end. And, yeah, I cried. I cried. I did the whole, you know, sob cry. Just because I don't know. I get really emotional in movies. Apparently I just get so attached to these characters. Which, by the way, one of the characters who was on screen, I ended up really liking, and it's the same character from before that I was talking about, vaguely. And then they were doing something on screen, and I was like, you better not die. Like, I was staring, and I was like, I swear, if you die, I'm gonna be so mad. But yeah, so like, if y'all watched Coco, tell me about how much it was great in the comments, because it was. But yeah, watching that movie reminded me of, was like, oh, other movies that I've watched and that I've really enjoyed. I made a short list for my sister earlier of just like movies that I really liked but aren't really that popular, and I will list them for you now. There is Ernest and Celestine. It's a French movie about a bear and a mouse, and it's really, really good. I love that movie so much. The animation was amazing. It was based on like a children's book series, and the animation itself was like reminiscent of that art style, and it was just so beautiful and amazing, and I can't believe they actually did that. It was great. So yeah, Ernest and Celestine. I can't remember if I said it was a French movie, but it is, but it's also in English, so there you go. And then there's Song of the Sea, an Irish animated movie. I can't remember exactly where it's from, but it's based on a lot of Irish folklore, I guess, and it's really good. Super great. I loved the animation in that too. I really related to the characters. Some people had sort of a beef with the main characters. They were like, oh, this brother is like just so mean to his sister and blah blah blah. But it's like, me watching it, I really felt like that was a real sibling relationship, you know? I was like, that is an actual pair of siblings right there, and I feel it. Like, since I have so many siblings, I'm like, I relate to this in so many different ways, because a lot of siblings react differently with each other, and I just felt like that really hit a lot of different points. But anyway, so Song of the Sea, really amazing, really recommend that one. And then, you might laugh, but I also mentioned to my sister the movie called Help, I'm a Fish. And before you be like, oh my gosh, that's a Finding Nemo ripoff, hear me out. So I was just kind of looking for just random movies that weren't popular and seeing if they were any good. And I can't remember why I found this particular movie. I might have just looked up the word fish or help or something, but either way, so I found this movie, and I was like, let me see how bad this is. And it turned out to be actually not that bad. It kind of reminds me of, like, a bad Don Bluth movie, but, like, a bad Don Bluth movie, depending on which bad Don Bluth movie it is, can potentially still be good. So it's like, it kind of reminds me of that kind of style. The animation, though, for the 2D stuff, I can't remember if it's CG at all, because they did a weird thing where they made the cover for the movie CG and really bad. But anyway, so I remember the first few clips of the movie, at least, because I watched this a while ago, had 2D animation. I can't remember if the fish were CG or 2D, but either way, at the beginning, the animation was 2D and it was amazing, and that's like the main reason I continued to watch it. And then the characters kind of actually was like, oh dang, I kind of want to see how this plays out, you know? So it kept my interest. And then, last of all, for this list I'm giving you now, is a movie called Nine, and it was released in 2009, and it's basically this post-apocalyptic world. It's kind of steampunk, kind of dark, but not too bad. It had a very interesting world, pretty cool characters, and kind of thrilling at points. Like, I don't know, it was just, I don't know, it was so good. Like, I don't want to say introspective because that's, I don't know, but it was super good. So yeah, those are some great, pretty generally unknown movies that I think you guys should watch. If you guys have any unknown movies that I should watch, definitely please tell me some titles in the comments. I love me some good movies that have good heart. I guess I have a liking to kind of down-to-earth movies with sort of almost like a slice of life, but not completely, kind of like magical, but not really magic, just kind of like fluffy. I don't know how to explain it. You might get what I'm saying, but Anyway, so yeah, definitely give me some titles. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this drawing today. It was a lot of fun. Ooh, before I forget, please check out the description. The next episode of Fool's Paradise, which is a D&D podcast I'm in, just came out Friday, so please go and listen to that. The DM does a lot of hard work on it, and it's a lot of fun to play. The story is great, and I think you guys are gonna love it. If you have actually listened to the first session that I linked last time, please let me know what you thought of it. Like, I totally want to know what you guys are like thinking about the podcast so far. But anyway, so have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please check out that link in the description, and bye-bye.